What's going on, everybody? Tailgate Pros here with a new podcast for you. A lot of new information out now that bowl season's here. We got a new college football playoff bracket we're going to be talking about. Got some teams already matched up with some bowls. So, who wants to kick it off with the college football playoff bracket?
Hey, I'll do it. Hey, 1 through 4 is perfectly fine. I am fine with it. Everything else went to crap. Don't care. I know Preston's upset about a team left out, and it's not the one you guys think it is. So we'll pass it to him so he can get his little rant session out of the way.
Yeah, I just think BYU definitely should have made the bracket at least, maybe first round. Um, Bear Brockmeyer, phenomenal quarterback. He definitely could have got it done in the college football playoffs.
What seed did
Yeah,
Texas Tech get? Four?
Yeah, Texas
yeah.
Tech got 4.
Or, well, they beat BYU twice. So, what makes you think BYU would do anything in the playoff when they already lost to a playoff team twice?
See, I mean that's just because they played Texas Tech. You put them up against anybody else, like you put them up against Oklahoma State. I mean Oklahoma. You put them up against anybody like that. I think they have a good chance.
I disagree.
Listen, you put BYU up against like Tulane or James Madison. I think it's an easy dub for BYU, and they're moving on to the second round.
Yeah, I think so too. But you got to think the way it's set up is they have to put the automatic bids in from the conference championship. And the ACC just crapped the bed all year. So that's why they threw in that JMU team.
So here's my issue. I guess I'm having. Look how many SEC teams made this tournament, dude. There's good teams in the SEC. The strength of schedule in the SEC is wild. But if we're going to do this 12 team playoff, I think you take the top two from your
From each conference.
from each conference that you're doing, and then you go from you go on the list down after that.
That's actually a good point because if you look at the bracket, the way it's set up, they basically took out if you won or lost your conference championship, it didn't matter. They left Ohio State at number two. I was expecting them to drop down to at least three or four. And you look at that matchup with Notre Dame and Miami back. What was that? August something or October or something?
It was August 31st when they played head to
August.
head. It was week
I
one.
mean, dude, there's no reason to go back that far. If you play right now, you put Notre Dame on the field with Miami. Notre Dame beats the crap out of Miami, hands down. They're
Oh,
playing.
100%.
They are playing lights out, and to leave a man like Jeremiah Love out of the conversation in the playoffs is insane.
I mean, you're putting Notre Dame against Carson Beck, and Carson Beck, after he transferred from Georgia, hasn't been all he's been cracked up to be.
Yeah, I think though with Georgia, I mean, look at the squad he had with him there too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
his
not I'm
only
not
play,
saying. Go ahead.
I was going to say his only playmaker right now on the offensive side of the ball is Malachi Tony, who's a true freshman. Kid's a baller, but that's the only guy he's throwing to. You go back to Georgia, that he had studs all over the field.
Right, and you having an offensive line like that already. I mean, how long's Georgia been a powerhouse and within the top 10, top 5 of the rankings within the past 20 years, dude? Like, the offensive line, the offense, the defense, the capabilities of what they have in a team is there. And you're pretty much born into it if you sign with Georgia.
absolutely, 100%. Any big top 5 teams like that, Georgia, you got Alabama, you got Ohio State. I feel like anybody that goes there, you always have talent around you. Like you're kind of set if you
They
sign
were,
with any of those teams.
yeah, they were talking about Julian Sayin going into the year, his first year starting at Ohio State. He had this metaphor. All you have to do is you got the Lambo, just drive it. That's all you got to do. Just drive at Lambeau. He's got all the studs around him. And that's exactly what he done this year. He didn't start making mistakes until Michigan. He threw that early pick. And then the championship game, he threw that early pick. Other than that, the kid has just been driving that Lambeau.
Right, and if he didn't regain his bearings in that Michigan game, I see that Michigan game going the complete way that the Indiana game with them went.
Yeah. And I mean, to miss a 23-yard tying field goal, that's got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, that took
No,
me back to what was it, 2022 against Georgia. They missed that late field goal. That dude just absolutely shanked that ball.
anyway, hey, we got talking about the playoff bracket. We got two teams at the bottom too that has been overlooked all year. It seems like, and I think has the potential to go and make a name out for themselves this year with Tulane and James Madison. A lot of people kind of upset that both of them got in, obviously over Notre Dame, and I can't argue with them. Notre Dame should have been in, but like I said, I have my pick on who I would replace Notre Dame with. Alabama should not be in there with the extra game that they played, and they still have 3 losses. It still
But I feel
counts
like
as a
that's
loss.
the thing. You always, since the college football playoffs, I mean, they've always had Alabama in the playoffs, and I feel like that's something that they're not going to steer away from. I feel like even if Alabama has a mediocre season, they're still going to at least get a bid in the playoff.
Well, we saw
I,
it in years past when it was just a 4-team playoff. You still had Georgia, Bama in the SEC championship games, and they would both still end up in the top four just to play again.
Yeah.
right, and then you've seen what happened whenever you got a couple schools say that has been overlooked all season, like Penix and Washington
Yeah,
and TCU that one year. They came in and just Duggan was throwing bombs. But even the years that they had Alabama and Washington or Michigan State in there, yeah, Michigan State's a Big Ten school, but you usually don't see Michigan making it in due to the whole Ohio State game
right.
because
Yeah, I mean,
And
whoever wins that game that year, I feel like automatically gets a bid. Like, it doesn't matter their season when it comes down to the game. Whoever wins that's automatically in the playoffs.
yeah, same thing with the SEC championship too. You can go to SEC, you can go to Big Ten. Whoever's coming out in those games are going to end up getting that bid.
it's just so the problem that I had with we'll go back to Notre Dame getting in or getting left out. Uh, Notre Dame lost 2 games all year. 2 games, one on the 31st against Miami, and the other one against Texas A&M. Both really good teams. Lost these 2 games by a combined of 4 points. Like at some point you have to look and be like, okay, yeah, they lost, but they also threw a 40 piece up against Texas A&M that's in the bracket. I guess like yeah, let's throw it back to the head-to-head contest, and since they're about even on everything, but I don't know. I feel like the key wins that uh, or key losses that Miami had kind of outweighs the losses that Notre Dame has.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Notre
totally
Dame.
agree.
Notre Dame was definitely more productive on offense and defense than Miami was, as far as points per game and all that. So I understand the frustration of everybody when it comes to Notre Dame not being in it.
The only justification I see from the committee putting in a 3-loss Alabama team is their strength of schedule and that head to head they had with Georgia to beat them earlier in the season. Am I surprised they put them in? No. Should they be in the college football playoff over Notre Dame? No.
Well, that makes you ask the question if there's anything such as a quality loss. Like, should quality losses exist?
Okay, so if you flash it back to, since we want to dive super deep and look into August 31st, you can take a look at August 30th. What happens on August 30th, Cody? Bama versus Florida State. Bama gets beat 31-17 to
Well,
a
at the
5 and
time,
7
if you're going
Florida.
back to that time, you got to look at Florida State. They were ranked what, like number 4?
They was ranked top 5.
Yeah, they were a top 5 team at the time. End of the season, they just ended up crapping the bed, whatever. Some injuries there, but anyways, like you said, if you're looking back at that point early in the season, you got to take into consideration the Texas versus Ohio State game as well. That is an early loss on Texas, who was ranked number 1 coming out of the year, and they took that loss to Ohio State, and they ended up losing what, 2 more games. So they're another 3-loss team that could have been in the college football playoff had they not played Ohio State early. So are teams now going to start looking at what non-conference games are we trying to schedule, and should we go with these lower tier teams such as like FCS teams or these low-level G5 teams just to build those wins on our resume?
100%, because you could play it both ways, as if you're playing into strength of schedule and you play nobodies, and let's say you're undefeated, you still didn't play anybody. But if you do play someone big, you also run the risk of losing and then being out of the playoff because of that. So there is a conundrum to doing that. It like we were saying, obviously, if a 10-3 Alabama gets in, they're playing into some form of strength of schedule compared to Notre Dame's record.
Right, and that's something that these athletic directors and these head coaches are going to have to look at moving forward is what is the committee looking at this year? Are they looking at, do these conference games matter? Do they not matter? Should we play these high-ranked teams and show our strength of schedule very high, or should we just go with these low-level teams and just bang out as many wins as we can?
Right. Having that, I mean, this is also the first year, so like you obviously do not know what this committee is looking for. With the building up the wins, that's a way to kind of have an excuse, I guess. Be like,
That's what
all right,
That's what JMU done. They
that's
just built
exactly
up,
what JMU done.
and look what happened. They got in.
That's exactly right. But then you take a peek back at old UCF, and whenever they went undefeated and claimed themselves as national champions.
That was going on a lot before UCF, though. I mean, you got to look at them old school Kellamore, Boise State teams too. That was pre playoffs, but I mean those teams were nasty. They were competing. They were competing at a lot lower level than the SEC was, for example. But those boys were putting up numbers.
So I guess we have to ask the question: is a champion dictated by sheer wins alone, or is a champion dictated by how hard they played?
Well, I
definitely want to say that it's how hard they play. I look more for stats than I do wins. Like, yeah, we could have a bad game, but quarterback threw for 600 yards. I mean, I'm still looking forward to, like, the main stats of the team compared to the wins. I mean, they could have a simple, easy schedule and still go undefeated, but their quarterback threw 4 interceptions and 3 picks that game.
Yeah, I was going to agree with you, Preston, on that take. I mean, you go back to last season, you got Ohio State losing to Michigan and not making the Big Ten championship game. come into the playoff and they just absolutely dominated everybody.
That, and I
So
mean,
here's
you take teams that's like genuinely upset, and I feel like you're going to have a really, really, really good team that's going to be upset every year that they didn't get in because it's obviously sports, and all four of us know that there's no bigger competitor than the people ahead of you. Like Notre Dame, we know Notre Dame's going to go out there if they have the chance and beat the brakes off of Tulane and beat the brakes off of uh, James Madison. But we just seen on ESPN that Notre Dame ain't. They're done. There's no bowl game. They're done. This is it for them. And it sucks being a senior, a part of that program, because you're part of something that definitely could have been something. And at the end of the day, those losses come back and bite you, and it really screwed you in the end. That your mistake in week one cost you the weeks upon the end of your year, and now your seniors are done with the game, dude, and you got to hang it up.
Yeah, crazy take by Marcus Freeman. I understand where he's going with it. Kind of petty if you ask me though, but like you said, you got to think about those seniors. A lot of those guys, that was their last football game ever that they played last week.
They didn't
They were
even
look,
know.
they didn't even know that. They were looking forward to going out there and competing. Obviously, you want to go compete in the playoff, but at least they had the opportunity to go compete against a good team in a bowl game, and now that's taken from them. Here's my take on Alabama, just to circle back. If you want to put them in, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with that with their strength of schedule. Put them at the 12 seed. Let them go play at Oregon, because now we got JMU going up to Eugene. That's probably going to get obliterated. If
Oh,
Alabama
absolutely.
if they're a playoff team, send them up to Eugene and let them battle it out to prove that they are a playoff team.
I completely agree with you. I am, Alabama got in. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I am not shocked, but then at the same time I am, because this is what, four SEC teams in a playoff. I mean,
At
like
this point, they might as well just make SEC the only team that gets in.
I get it. SEC is a the football
Power.
when you have a schedule that's as tough as all of them, you kind of got to knock each other out. So Ole Miss is in there. You have Oklahoma now. They're in there. You got Bama in there. You
Texas.
have A&M in there. You have Georgia in there. That's five. That's almost half of the whole playoff bracket that is one conference. Then you look at the other big conferences that are decent at football. Say for the Big 12, there's one team that made it. That's it.
Should have been two.
The one team that made it lost to the same team twice and didn't lose to anybody else.
The one
But
team that made it from the ACC didn't even play in the conference championship.
yeah, that makes no sense. That's what I'm getting to. It's like, where's your champions? But then again, you'll have the argument of, why does a Duke team get in? Why does a 5-loss Duke team get in over,
Yeah, the two lost teams like
or two
BYU
loss?
and
Yeah,
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 Miami.
like
Okay.
BYU. Like I
So
know I know Preston was glued to his TV whenever he was watching these rankings come out,
Oh,
and
absolutely. I was waiting for BYU name to pop up. I was all dressed in blue. I was ready. I had my face
you
painted and
still got
everything.
it on, dude. You're still
I
believing.
know. I'm just hoping like tomorrow they come out and say, you know what, BYU over Bama.
So let me ask this: would you rather see like a ranked playoff where they select on the committee? Or would you rather see where it's champion versus champion versus champion? Whoever wins our conference championships is in the playoffs. And loser, you're done.
I say we take the top 2 teams of each conference and put them all against each other.
I'm about right there with you. I was going to say I think we take the top 2 of the conference, and that's automatic bids into the playoff. Because at this point, it wouldn't even matter if you won the championship.
Yeah.
Which covers Cody's point on the Duke. You know, you will have your winner of the championship, and then you'll have your best record other than that, or the one that played you in the championship.
Yeah, here's a simple solution. Make it a 16-team playoff. But the top 2, whoever makes the championship game, they're automatically in from the Power 4 conferences. So that you got your top 8 lined up right there. Then that's where you start to debate the other 8 teams, and then we don't get into the situation of, oh, Alabama shouldn't have been in over Notre Dame, because then that just kind of elevates the field. It gets those guaranteed spots. It doesn't make the championship game are they going to count this game or are they not going to count this game kind of conversation. It just go ahead and locks them in place. You got your 16 teams lines up for a nice bracket, and then you just debate those other 8 teams out.
So
yeah, 100%. I agree on that.
It sounds like football fans want more football, shockingly.
Oh, 100%. Because now what am I going to watch? NFL? Scripted football?
These players have something to play for, to have that chance to play in the NFL. And again, I think Notre Dame really sold themselves short on cutting out their bowl game this year and really giving the seniors the send off that they deserve.
Oh, 100%.
Plus, I'm kind of upset too because I really, really enjoyed watching that running back for Notre Dame play.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love played his last game. He didn't even know it. I wonder what that kid's thinking about right now.
Probably the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Is it too late to hit the transfer portal and
Yeah, I mean, maybe he has 1 year left of eligibility. You never know.
All right, do you guys think Vandy should be in that conversation with the way Diego's played all season? Should they have been in?
My opinion, yes, I do. I think that kid has great talent. I think Vanderbilt going so poorly last season to what they are now, just because of their team chemistry and their coaching, I definitely think that they should have been in the conversation. A little disappointing that they're not.
I mean, I'm right there with you. With them having 2 losses, their 2 losses was, I mean, we covered it earlier of quality losses.
Mm-hmm.
You take a Vanderbilt team that has turned around something so quickly that I don't even believe half the nation's caught on to it yet on how Diego and that head coach has really turned that team around. I mean, the talent that they have recruited into Vanderbilt has been tremendous.
Oh, 100%. And you got to think, we're in a new era of college football. NIL is here. These kids are paid to play. Vandy is not going anywhere. They are here to compete now. They will be in the college football playoff next year. You saw they just flipped that quarterback from Georgia. They are here. They are real.
Dude, and that is going to happen so much more too. But then again, so my question is, would you put Vandy in over Alabama?
Well, they had a head-to-head, right?
They did, and they lost by like 16. But Bama's still a 3-loss team.
That's true.
I definitely think that Vandy should have been in over Alabama, strictly on the record. Yeah, they did lose to Alabama, but I still think that they should have at least been in the conversation. I really didn't hear much about them as far as being in the college football playoffs.
Here's my problem with that is you match up Vandy and you match up JMU. Who's
This
winning
dude
that game?
hates small scores. This dude hates small schools, dude.
Who's winning that game? You think Diego's not gonna go out there and just ball on JMU?
Bro, you know.
I mean, but you also got to think JMU's playing Oregon. You think they're going to go up to Eugene and not get stomped?
No, that's my whole point is I don't agree with how they set the whole bracket up in general.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got Tulane playing Old Miss. Old Miss, yeah, has a great season, but they're just going to stomp Tulane, and it's just going to be.
But in what other scenario will these smaller schools get any showcasing whatsoever?
I don't think they should right now. I think you need to build a program up like Boise State did back in the day. They were coming out of the Mountain West. They were a decent team, and then they just kept beating the crap out of other teams to show, hey, we're legit. I think you need to prove it and build your rank up that way instead of just getting automatic bids into a college football playoff game.
Right. I get that, but then again, to go with your point you had earlier, NIL is here.
Yeah, you can't even.
And every other Power 4 school has how much more money in NIL and donations than James Madison has and what they got currently rostered.
Possible for a small school to build itself up naturally anymore.
Right.
Yeah, especially with the NIL and the transfer portal, that kills teams. I said it from the beginning, whenever they started talking about NIL and this transfer portal, it's killing teams because
I don't hate the NIL idea. I think it needs to be regulated.
I do too.
That's everybody's consensus except for the ones that are making money off of it.
Right.
I definitely think that there should be like the NFL, a salary cap that you only get a certain amount of money per year for recruiting. I mean, yeah, the bigger schools can have a little bit more money, but not in an outrageous amount like Georgia and Ohio State has compared to Oklahoma and smaller schools like that.
All right. So
Yeah.
what's our final thought on this playoff bracket?
Complete garbage. Not watching it. BYU's not in it.
You're just boycotting the whole rest of the season, is what you're saying.
No, I'm gonna watch it.
You should go to Notre Dame.
Yeah, I should go to Notre Dame. I'm gonna pull a Notre Dame and boycott all ball games.
My opinion, as much people disagree with it, I do see where they come at with the Alabama selection and head to head. I get that James Madison's in it and Tulane's in it. I understand, but then again, you have so many teams from one conference, and the Big Ten only has a couple, and then the Big 12 only has one. Like, I wish they would kind of take this year, and I think they are going to take this year as a learning
Trial run.
Yeah, because whether you do something right, do something wrong, either way, you're going to have critics. And with it being an SEC school and the fans that's in the SEC, I mean, you're going to have some outrage somewhere. But then again, I understand and I get it.
I think my takeaways for the bracket is I'm just so heavily focused on the bottom half of this bracket. You got a potential Ohio State and Georgia matchup. You got Ole Miss down there. You got A&M down there, if I'm not mistaken. I think those games are played a whole lot better. Even the Ole Miss and Tulane game, I think will be a sleeper game. I think it'll be good. I just think it competes a lot better versus the top bracket, the top half with these matchups like JMU, Oregon, Indiana, Texas Tech. I just think it'll be very more interesting at the bottom half. as far as the potential matchups moving into the quarterfinals and semifinal matchups.
All right, let's do rapid fire predictions. So for the first round, we'll just all go and rotate. So first round, we got Oklahoma, Alabama. Cody, who do you got?
I mean, Oklahoma's already won the first matchup. Give me Oklahoma 41, Alabama 38.
All right, Dakota.
Give me Oklahoma, and I'll do 28-17.
All right, Preston.
Oklahoma, Alabama. We are going to take Oklahoma on this matchup. Definitely think that Oklahoma is going to take home the win. I think Oklahoma is going to be very dominant against Alabama. I'm going to take them 35-14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
A hot
That's a hot
take,
take.
brother.
I think Oklahoma takes it, but it's going to be around 35-28.
respectable.
Okay, what's our next matchup?
I'm just going in order of times. So we'll do A&M versus Miami. So Cody, who do you got?
I think A&M just dogs Miami, and it shows that Miami shouldn't have been in the playoff and to begin with. Give me A&M 35, Miami 17.
I think Carson Beck struggles, especially with A&M's secondary. Let me do A&M 38, Miami 28. Carson Beck throws 2 picks.
I'm going to agree with Dakota on this. I'm going to take Texas A&M. Carson Beck's not going to connect like he should, as we've seen all season. I'm going to take Texas Tech.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Texas Tech, I mean, probably still win. But Texas A&M, I'm going to take them 35-10.
I think A&M takes it. I think Miami was good. I just don't think they were put together all that well, especially towards the beginning. So I'm going to say A&M takes it. We'll say 28-17.
Okay, what's our next matchup?
All right, we got Tulane and Ole Miss.
I think this is a closer game than a lot of people are anticipating. I think it's a real close game in the first half, and I think Ole Miss kind of pulls away late in the second half. This quarterback, he's not young, but he's not inexperienced either, but he did come from a low-level team. Now he's playing in a college football playoff on that national scale. I think he gets the job done. I just don't think it's as dominant as people think it will be. So give me Ole Miss 28, Tulane 10.
I like it. Like you said, I think it's going to be a lot closer than what everybody else thinks it is. You got to think, like, Tulane has just been hot this year. They got the momentum of their coach being able to coach them through this game. Unlike what's going on the other side, you got Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin pieces out, heads to LSU, SEC rival. I think a lot of momentum was taken on that plane with him. I think Tulane scoots by 24-21.
Dakota, I was about to say the same thing. With Lane Kiffin leaving, I think the Ole Miss team's not going to be the same. Yeah, they played good all season, but also you had Lane Kiffin at coach. I'm going to take Tulane to win this matchup. It's going to be close. I'm going to take it 21-14.
I'm going to say Ole Miss takes it. I still think they have the talent, regardless of the coaching. I think it's going to be probably 21-17. It's still going to be close, but I think Ole Miss pulls it out. So we got JMU and Oregon.
Give me Oregon to just beat the dog crap out of JMU. I'm not with these small schools coming into a college football playoff. I'm gonna take it 55-10.
I mean, I'm right there with you. I feel like James Madison has something to prove. I think they come in with a chip on their shoulder. I think they get in Oregon's head early. You know, kind of like the Ohio State Michigan game. You've seen like a younger quarterback just kind of melt in the first couple sessions. Not saying that he's a younger quarterback, but the nerves are going to get there, and I just think that something's going to happen. There's going to be a takeaway. There's going to be a key point. There's going to be a ridiculous touchdown thrown on like a 60-yard pass that just kind of knocks everybody off their feet. It's like, oh, wait a minute, James Madison has a shot. I think that's the only time they score a touchdown that game. I think Oregon pulls it out in the second half, 38-10.
I'm going to snowball off that. I definitely think JMU is going to travel all the way to Eugene and walk away very disappointed. I think they're not going to be able to compete against a powerhouse like Oregon. I'm going to take Oregon 65, James Madison 14.
Oh,
I was going to say
Thought you
0, but I got to give them at least a little bit.
I think Oregon runs away with this. It's not going to be pretty, but I think it's going to be somewhere along the lines of 42-14.
I like that.
mascot might just lose his head again.
So I think we all agreed on Oklahoma winning, so we'll just go with Oklahoma, Indiana.
Oklahoma, Indiana, interesting matchup. I think John Mateer is a great quarterback. He's got a lot of good leadership. Oklahoma's defense has played lights out. We kind of seen how Indiana played against Ohio State as far as how low scoring of a game this will be. I see a lot of similarities in that game. Which quarterback can come out and make the play? And I think Mendoza's on top of that. So give me Indiana to advance at 24-21.
Kurt Cignetti's team is hot right now. We've seen it against Ohio State. We've seen it all year round. Mendoza is putting the football in places that you don't think he can put one in, and it is working out. His receivers are catching them. I mean, it's great football to watch, and I think Cignetti's out for something to prove. So I think Indiana beats Oklahoma 24-14.
I agree with that. I think Cignetti definitely has something to prove. With Mendoza being such a high caliber quarterback as he is, I think it's going to be a easy win for Indiana. I'm going to take them 35-24.
Yeah, I don't know what else I can add to that. I think Indiana takes it. I think it's going to be not too much of a shootout, but also I think it's going to be a two-score game. 31-21. With that section done, we got Oregon and Texas Tech.
Oregon and Texas Tech could be an interesting matchup. You got a really high-powered offense with Oregon. You got Dante Moore out there slinging the rock. DeCorian Moore is a 5-star. He's playing really well out there on the perimeter, also getting a lot of work in the slot. Texas Tech defense has been lights out all year. I could talk about Rodriguez all day. I think Oregon...
It's going to look like him a little bit.
Thank you. I think Oregon upsets Texas Tech in a close one. Give me Oregon 28, Texas Tech 21.
I feel like Texas Tech has played really good ball this year. We've seen them pretty much manhandle every team in the Big 12. And that's handling BYU, that's handling Utah. We're talking about teams that's no slouches this year. And you're taking an Oregon team that has year after year prove to everybody in the country of why they are ranked so high, and they want to compare scores and put them up so far into a ranking to where they're kind of by themselves. That being said, Texas Tech has it going on right now, and I feel like Oregon is about due to hit a little roadblock, and I feel like they're going to probably struggle in the second half because Texas Tech is a team that has really went in at halftime and picked apart the offense of their opponents all year. I think Texas Tech takes it 28-14.
I agree with that. Seeing Texas Tech play compared to Oregon, I think Texas Tech has a very high-powered defense as well as their offense. I think it's going to be a close game. I think this is one of the games that you're going to see go into double, maybe even triple overtime. But I'm going to take Texas Tech to go 37-35.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Texas Tech defense is pretty stellar. I look for them to get a late turnover, and it's going to win them the game. I'm going to say probably 41-35.
So I'm the odd man out.
Hey, that's fine, dude. I mean, I at the same point of Texas Tech, I see winning. I see Oregon winning too. Oregon's no slouch. One of them, what I'm saying is, one of them is about to hit a roadblock in this game and just not be able to get anything done.
Yeah, I really like that point on Texas Tech and their defense. We saw that in the Big 12 championship game. They were just picking that. What's his name? BYU fan. What's the quarterback's name?
Bear Bachmeyer.
He was just
Big
getting
big
eaten
old bear.
up. He was getting eaten up, dude.
All right, so flipping the bracket, we've got A&M and Ohio State.
I think it's a good matchup between A&M and Ohio State. I just don't think that A&M can compete with the offense. Ohio State's played really good on defense, so give me Ohio State 28, A&M 21.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think Ohio State's offense is just a little too tough, especially whenever they have both of their wide receivers healthy, because we can see the damage that they can do whenever they're both in there at the same time with Julius Sand. So give me a final score 35-21 Ohio State.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying Ohio State's going to win this one.
That's what we
I'm going
both
to take
said.
Ohio State.
That's what I just said.
I know. But it was a playoff of the quarterback's name.
That's the worst joke I've heard in my life.
Come on now. We're taking Ohio State over Texas A&M. It's not going to be a close game. Ohio State's just going to throw that ball all over Texas A&M. Give me Ohio State 42, Texas A&M 21.
Yeah, I got Ohio State winning too. I think it's going to be at least a two-score game. So give me 28-14 Ohio State. It looks like, Cody, you got Ole Miss and Georgia.
Classic SEC matchup. Classic. No, seriously. Good. I think it's a good game. Georgia pulls away second half, 28. Ole Miss 10.
I have Tulane with Georgia, so
Yeah, you got Tulane.
You got Tulane.
And
You and me both have Tulane.
the thing about Tulane is they throw the ball well, and the thing about Georgia is they shut both the run and pass down pretty decently. The bad thing about Tulane is that their leading rusher is their quarterback right now. And I don't think that he will have the time in the pocket or to scramble to get many yards after breaking the line of scrimmage. Georgia, I mean, they take pride in their defensive line a lot, and it shows. Plus, Georgia's offense is just too electric to put any other Power Five or any other school than a major conference out there to try to stop. Give me Georgia 42-7.
I agree with that, Dakota. I'm definitely going to take Georgia on it. I think it's going to be a monstrous blowout. So give me, drumroll please, Georgia Bulldogs 42-0. Go Dogs.
All right, so I got Ole Miss and Georgia. Let's just take the sweep. I think Georgia wins it. I think they're going to win it 35-21.
What do you think the key takeaways in that game are going to be?
I think it's going to be whoever's offense is just moving the ball more.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the better team's going to win the game.
Whoever scored more points, I think they're going to win.
That makes sense.
And so it looks like, Cody, you got Indiana and Oregon.
Indiana and Oregon, Big Ten matchup here. Already played. Indiana got the dub up in Eugene. I think Oregon bounces back. They watch a lot of tape from the old game, kind of right their wrongs in that regard. So give me Oregon to win by 14. I'm going to take them 35-21.
All right, and the rest of us have Indiana, Texas Tech.
I mean, we all preached earlier about the stellar performance that Texas Tech's defense been putting on. It's really met with steel with a offense that is putting on stellar performances as well. Give me Texas Tech by 3.
Oh,
All right,
I
Preston.
do agree that it's going to be hard with the defense of Texas Tech and the offense of Indiana. But like I said, I think Signetti has something to prove. He's going to come out. He's going to punch hard. I think he's just going to punch a little bit harder than Texas Tech. I'm going to say that it's a very close, low-scoring game. Give it to me, Indiana 21, Texas Tech 14.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a one-score game. I think it's going to be slightly more offensive. Give me Indiana 35, Texas Tech 28. All right, and now we got Ohio State and Georgia.
bringing me back. I think Georgia shows up. I think Ohio State plays well. I just don't think Julian Saint can get the job done. A lot of great playmakers on Ohio State, a lot of great playmakers on Georgia. I just think both teams are very young. Give me the best coach right now, and that's saying Kirby Smart. So I'll take Georgia 31, Ohio State 24.
It's a good take. This is another one of them games where it's two teams that are hot at just the right time, and one of them has to lose. That being said, I'll take Ohio State 28-21.
Both teams being hot this at the end of the season, I think it's going to come down to the wire. But I think Kirby Smart's going to outsmart the Ohio State Buckeyes, do some little trick plays, and get a final score of 35-28.
Just curiosity before Colton makes his pick. How many points do you think BYU would put up against them?
100. BYU by 100.
I guess 2.
Either one. Bear Bachmeyer is going to sling that rock down the field.
All right, Colton, what's your take?
Right. As much as I hate to say it, I think Ohio State's going to win. I think they beat Georgia. I think their offense is going to overpower the defense. I think they're going to win 42-35. And now, in the championship, Cody, you got Oregon and Georgia.
Oregon and Georgia, I'll look for a shootout if this matchup happens. I think Oregon gets the job done. I don't have any specific reason, honestly. That's just what my gut's telling me. I would take it probably 35-28, Oregon. Give me the Ducks to win the Natty.
All right, Dakota, you got Texas Tech and Ohio State.
Ohio State by 21. It's just Texas Tech. I feel like if they come into that game, they're going to be nervous, but at the same time, they're going to act like they're confident and just kind of mess around and get too arrogant with the ball and play tight. And we know, the looser you play, the better you play. So yeah, give me Ohio State.
All right, Preston, you got Indiana and Georgia.
I think he's going to outsmart Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs, but not by much. I'm going to take Indiana by 3 of a score of 24-21.
I have Indiana and Ohio State. Personally, I think Indiana wins. I think they win by a touchdown. I think it's going to be 28-21.
I like it. Let's get into our bowl games. I see there's some being announced right now. I see what we got here. We got Gasparilla Bowl. We got Boca Raton Bowl, Frisco Bowl, the Rake Bowl, Bad Boy Mowers, Pinstripe Bowl, Pop-Tart Bowl. There you go. Georgia Tech and BYU Pop-Tart Bowl.
BYU? Nah.
BYU.
No, don't be playing with me. BYU's playing in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Bear Brockmeyer is going to be taking them Pop-Tarts and putting them in the toaster.
Yeah.
Bro, insane.
What's the flavor? What's the Pop-Tart flavor?
It's going to be hot fudge sundae, dog. All the way.
I like the can't find them anywhere around here, but I like the chocolate chip cookie dough ones.
Yes.
Those ones are fire.
I'm going to go classic strawberry with the frosting. Classic.
Yeah, Colton looks like a brown sugar cinnamon type guy.
Actually, I think I just like chocolate.
I think he likes the unfrosted strawberry.
He likes the Spider-Man wild berry one.
That's a pull.
Colton probably buys Walmart brand Pop-Tarts.
The Toastums?
Preston got it by name too.
All right, boys, that wraps up tonight's episode with the college football playoff bracket. A lot of good brackets out there. A little bit of controversy going with Oregon, Dakota going to Ohio State, Preston. I honestly wasn't paying attention to any of yours. I'm just being honest with you.
BYU.
Cincinnati all the way.
I just can't
BYU
get
all the
over.
way.
I just can't get over the BYU.
BYU all the way. BYU by 100, baby.
Who's BYU's running back?
All right, that's it for tonight, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you drop a comment below. Who do you think is going to win the college football playoff? We'll see you next time.